Look at these places having varied land formations. Recall these terrains. What are they called as? These are mountains, plateaus and plains. Our country has all major physical features of the earth such as mountains, plains, deserts, plateaus and islands. Have you ever wondered how these varied features are formed? Let us learn some of the answers for the question. This is a piece of rock we use to construct houses, and this is a piece of rock we use for writing on the blackboard. What difference do you see in both? One is a type of hard rock and another is a type of soft rock. The color and texture of soil varies from one place to the other because soil is formed out of different types of rocks. What causes such variation in color and texture of rocks? Most of these variations are caused due to differences in rock formations. Earth scientists have attempted to explain the formation of physical features with the help of some theories based on certain evidences. The theory of plate tectonics is one of such widely accepted theories. According to this theory, the crust or upper part of the earth has been formed out of 7 major and some minor plates. These are Eurasian plate, North American plate, South American plate, Pacific plate, African plate, Indo-Australian plate and the Eurasian plate. The movement of the plates result in the building up of stresses within the plates and the continental rocks above. What are the consequences of such stresses? Such stresses lead to folding, faulting and volcanic activity. Recall folding, faulting and volcanic activities. These are known as tectonic activities. Do you know that most volcanoes and earthquakes in the world are located at plate margins, though some do occur within the plates? The direction of the movement of the plate differs. These plate movements are classified into 3 types. Some plates come towards each other and form convergent boundary. In case of 2 plates coming together, they may either collide and crumble, or one may slide under the other. Some plates move away from each other and form divergent boundary. At times, plates may also move horizontally, passing through each other and forming transform boundary. The movements of these plates have changed the position and size of the continents over millions of years. Such movements have also influenced the evolution of the present landform features of India. Do you know that about 200 million years ago, we had 2 important land masses on Earth's surface, Laurasia and Gondwana land? The oldest landmass of our country, that is the Peninsular region, was a part of the Gondwana land. The Gondwana land included India, Australia, South Africa, South America and Antarctica as one single landmass. In between, there was a geosyncline known as the Tethys Sea. The convectional current under the crust split the crust into a number of pieces. This led to the drifting of the Indo-Australian plate after being separated from the Gondwana land towards north. The northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. Recall the process of formation of fold you learnt in previous classes. Something similar happened here due to the collision of the plates. The sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the Tethys Sea were folded to form the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya. The Himalayan uplift out of the Tethys Sea and subsidence of the northern flank of the Peninsular Plateau resulted in the formation of a large basin. In course of time, this depression gradually got filled with deposition of sediments carried by the rivers flowing from the mountains in the north and the Peninsular Plateau in the south. Which landform do you think was formed through the process? This flat land of extensive alluvial deposits led to the formation of the northern plains of India. The Peninsular Plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses on the Earth's surface. The Peninsular Plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. The Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms. Do you think these regions form a stable zone? No, Himalayan mountains form a very unstable zone. The whole mountain system of Himalaya represents a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys, and vast flowing rivers. The northern plains are formed of alluvial deposit, which is always renewed by the action of erosion and deposition. Can you recall the major physical divisions of India? The physical features of India can be grouped under the 6 physiographic divisions: the Himalayan mountains, the northern plains, the Peninsular Plateau, the Indian desert, the coastal plains, the islands. Let us learn more about these physical divisions in our next lesson. This is a view of Shimla, the capital city of Himachal Pradesh. This is the aerial view of the Kanpur city located in Uttar Pradesh. What topographical difference do you see in the images? The Shimla city has a rugged topography and the Kanpur city is located in a flat topography. Thus, there is a great diversity in the physical features of our country. Look at the map. Can you figure the northern mountain ranges? The northern mountain range Himalayas run in a west-east direction from the Indus to the Brahmaputra. The Himalayas represent the loftiest and one of the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. The arc formed by the Himalaya covers a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. The width varies from 400 kilometers in Kashmir to 150 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. The Himalaya consists of 3 parallel ranges: the Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri, Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. Shivaliks. The northernmost range is known as the Great or Inner Himalayas or the Himadri. It is the most continuous range consisting of the loftiest peaks with an average height of 6,000 meters. Can you name some of the peaks located in Great Himalayas? Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Makalu, Dhaulgiri, Nanga Parbat, Annapurna, Nanda Devi, Kamet, Namcha Barwa, Gurla Mandata are some such peaks located here. Observe the map and name the peaks located in India. Some of the peaks located in India are Kanchenjunga, Nanga Parbat, Nanda Devi and Kamet. The folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. The core of this part of Himalayas is composed of granite. A number of glaciers descend from this range. Can you name some of the glaciers? The Himalayan range has about 15,000 glaciers. Some of such important glaciers are Siachen in Indian-Pakistan border, Gangotri, Yamunotri in Uttarakhand, Nubra, Biafo, Baltoro in Karakoram, Zemu in Sikkim, and Khumbu in Mount Everest. The range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system and is known as Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. The ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters, and the average width is of 50 kilometers. The Pir Panjal Range, the Dauladhar and the Mahabharat ranges are some of the important mountain ranges here. This range consists of the famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra and Kulu Valley in Himachal Pradesh, and famous for the hill stations. Can you name some of the hill stations located here? Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet, Kulu, Manali are some of the famous hill stations located in this region. The outermost range, Shivaliks, extends over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and has an altitude varying between 900 and 1100 meters. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges that form the valleys. Thus, the valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalaya and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. Can you recall any of such dunes? Dehradun, Kotli Dune and Patli Dune are some of the well-known dunes. The Himalayas can be divided on the basis of regions from the west to east. These divisions are demarcated by river valleys. The part of Himalayas lying between the Indus and Sutlej is traditionally known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal Himalaya from west to east respectively. The part of the Himalayas lying between Sutlej and Kali rivers is known as Kumaon Himalayas. The Kali and Tista river demarcate the Nepal Himalayas. The part lying between Tista and Dihang rivers is known as Assam Himalayas. The river Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond the Dihang Gorge, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India. These eastern hills and mountains are known as Purvanchal. The Purvanchal comprises of the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur Hills and the Mizo Hills. These hills are mostly composed of strong sandstones which are sedimentary rocks and covered with dense forests. Why do we find dense forests in these hills? These states receive very high rainfall, thus covered with dense forests. Can you name the major rivers that originate from Himalayas? The major rivers originating in the Himalayas are Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. The interplay of these three major river systems resulted in the formation of northern plains. The deposition of alluvium in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. The plain spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometers, which is about 2,400 kilometers long and 240 to 320 kilometers broad. This is the most densely populated physiographic division in our country. Why is this region so densely populated? This is one of the most agriculturally productive regions with a rich soil core combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate. The rivers coming from northern mountains are involved in depositional work. Due to gentle slope, the velocity of the river decreases in the lower courses of the river. This results into formation of riverine islands. Do you know that Majuli in the Brahmaputra river is the largest inhabited riverine island in the world? The rivers in the lower course split into numerous channels due to the deposition of silt. These channels are known as distributaries. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections: Punjab Plain, Ganga Plain and Brahmaputra Plain. The western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab Plains, which is formed by the Indus, and its tributaries originate in Himalayas: Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Sutlej. This section of the plain is dominated by the Doabs. Doab is made up of two words, do meaning two and ab meaning water, where two water bodies are present. The Ganga plain extends between Ghaggar and Teesta rivers. Can you name the states lying in Ganga plain? It is spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal to its east. Brahmaputra plain lies in Assam. Though Ganga basin is more or less a flat topography, there are variations in its relief. According to the variations in relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions: Bhaba, Terai, Bhangar, and Kadar. When the river Ganga descends from the mountains, it deposits pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in width, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivaliks. It is known as Bhaba. All the streams disappear in this Bhaba belt. Why do you think the streams disappear in this region? The streams disappear here as they flow through the pebbles deposited by Ganga. South of the Bhaba region, the streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy region known as Terai. This was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. Can you name a national park located in this region? Dudhwa National Park is one such example. The forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle migrants from Pakistan after partition. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of older alluvium. These alluvium lie above the floodplains of the rivers and present a terrace-like feature. This part is known as Bhangar. The soil in this region contains calcareous deposits, locally known as Kankari. The newer, younger deposits of the floodplains are called Khador. They are renewed almost every year and are so fertile, thus ideal for intensive agriculture. Let us learn more about some more physiographic divisions in our next lesson. Have a look at the map of our country. Can you locate some areas rich in minerals such as coal and iron ore? Some parts of the oldest landform in India, the Plateau region, is rich in various mineral resources. Recall what is meant by a plateau. Plateau is an elevated upland or tableland. The Peninsular Plateau is composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. The Indian Plateau region can be broadly divided into two categories: the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. The part of the Peninsular Plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. The Vindhyan range is bounded by the Central Highlands on the south and the Aravalis on the northwest. The Malwa Plateau is located in between the Aravali and Vindhya range. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. Can you name some of the rivers flowing through this region? Some of the rivers such as the Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa and Ken flow from southwest to northeast, that indicates the slope of the region. The eastward extension of the Central Plateau are locally known as the Bundelkhand and Bhagelkhand. The further eastward extension, drained by the Damodar River, is Chotanagpur Plateau. The plateau region that extends up to the northeastern region is locally known as the Meghalaya Plateau, Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Kachar Hills. It is separated by a fault from the Chotanagpur Plateau. There are three prominent hill ranges from the west to east: the Garo, the Khasi and the Jaintia hills. The Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Satpura range is located in the north, while the Mahadev, The Kaimur Hills and the Michael Range form the eastern extensions. Which direction do you think the Deccan Plateau has its slope? The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastwards. One of the distinct features of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Trap. Do you know the origin of Deccan Trap? This is of volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. These rocks have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. The Aravali Hills that lie on the western and northwestern margins of the Peninsular Plateau is highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. The Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. The Western Ghats that lie parallel to the western coast are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. Can you name any of the passes found in Western Ghats? The Thal, Bhor and the Pal Ghats are some of the passes in the Western Ghats. The average elevation of Western Ghats is 900 to 1600 meters. The Western Ghats cause orographic rain by facing the rain-bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghats. The height of the Western Ghats progressively increases from north to south. The highest peaks of Western Ghats include the Anai Mudi, 2695 meters, and the Doddabetta, 2637 meters. The Eastern Ghats stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by rivers. The average height of the Eastern Ghats is 600 meters. Mahendragiri, with a height of 1501 meters, is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghats. Chevroy Hills and the Javadi Hills are located to the southeast of the Eastern Ghats. Can you name one famous hill station located in this region? Some of the famous hill stations located in this region are Udagamandalam, popularly known as Ooty, and the Kodaikanal. Point out the differences between both the mountain ranges. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats are continuous, but the Eastern Ghats are discontinuous. The Western Ghats cause orographic rain by facing the rain-bearing moist winds to its western slope, but Eastern Ghats are comparatively drier. Most of the major rivers flowing through the Eastern Ghats originate in the Western Ghats, but there is hardly a river originating in the Eastern Ghats. Beyond the mountain ranges, the Peninsular Plateau is flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal strips, running along the Arabian Sea on the west and the Bay of Bengal on the east. The western coast lies between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea is a narrow plain. It consists of three sections. The northern part from Mumbai to Goa, the coast is called the Konkan. The central stretch is called the Kannad Plain. The southern part is referred to as the Malabar coast. The eastern coastal plains along the Bay of Bengal are wide and level. The northern part is referred to as the Northern Sarkar, while the southern part is known as the Coromandel coast. Name the rivers that form delta in the eastern coastal plain. Large rivers such as the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri have formed extensive delta on this coast. The largest saltwater lake in India, Chilka, is an important feature along the eastern coast. Have a look at the map again. Identify the region on the western margins of the Aravali Hills. It is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes, the great Indian desert. What comes to your mind as you imagine a desert? Camels in vast stretches of sand dunes are the first image coming to your mind as we think of a desert. Crescent-shaped sand dunes or barchans cover large areas. Near the Indo-Pakistan boundary, longitudinal dunes are more prominent. This region receives very low rainfall, about 150 millimeters per year. It has arid climate with less vegetation cover. Streams appear during the rainy season, but they disappear into the sand as they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Luni is the only large river in this region. Besides the vast mainland, our country has two groups of islands. Can you identify these groups of islands? Lakshadweep Islands and Andaman and Nicobar Islands are the two groups of islands belonging to India. Do you know the significance of this island groups? This group of islands is composed of small coral islands. Coral polyps are short-lived microscopic organisms, live as colonies in shallow, mud-free and warm waters. They secrete calcium carbonate. The coral secretion and their skeletons result into coral deposits in the form of reefs. They are mainly of three kinds: barrier reef, fringing reef and atolls. Lakshadweep is mainly formed as atolls with very few fringing reefs. Earlier, this group of islands was known as Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amindev. In 1973, these were together named as Lakshadweep. It covers a small area of 32 square kilometers. Kavaratti Island is the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep. The elongated chain of islands located in the Bay of Bengal, extending from north to south, is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are bigger in size and are more numerous and scattered. This group of islands is divided into two broad categories: the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. It is believed that these islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains. These islands lie close to equator and experience equatorial climate and have thick forest cover. There is great diversity of flora and fauna too. Do you know that India's only active volcano is found on Barren Island in Andaman and Nicobar group of islands? Varied physiographic divisions made our country rich in various resources. Can you figure out the significance of the mountains? The mountains are the major sources of water and forest wealth. Moreover, the Himalayas and the Western Ghats act as windbreaks and bring much-needed rainfall to our country. The northern plains are the granaries of the country. They also provided the base for early civilizations. The plateau is a storehouse of minerals which plays a crucial role in the industrialization of the country. The coastal region and island groups provide sites for fishing and port activities. Even the vast stretch of desert has the potential of harnessing wind energy. Thus, the diverse physical features of the land have immense possibilities of development.